Minister for Communications and Digitalisation, Honourable Esla Owusu-Ekofo, Secretary to the Vice President, Mr. Augustine Blay, Excellencies, colleagues, the media, ladies and gentlemen, would AfCFTA succeed?
AfCFTA's quest to create a single market of 1.2 billion people in order to deploy Africa's $3 trillion GDP in one clear, purposeful direction of enhanced growth, inclusive prosperity, and geopolitical significance cannot sideline the simple fact that only digital technology can connect those 1.2 billion people.
The hub being proposed by the ministry as we participate in is a welcome opportunity anchored on three main bedrocks. One, job creation, one market through SMEs. Digitization as a means of competitiveness to improving public administration through digital trade and logistics are quite inspiring. Liberalization and its risks that are associated are also our concern, i.e. dumping, smuggling, or illicit trade are major concerns for industry.
What does a successful implementation of AfCFTA look like? Picture an exporter in Akimda in the eastern region of Ghana who exports tubers of yam to Northern Africa. As her cargo is Tunis bound, she has to cross over the Mediterranean into Europe to wait long transit hours to catch a flight back into Africa to meet her goods. And while at that, she worries about entry visas and permits every step of the way. She exports yam tubers because she has no means of processing it into semi-finished and finished products, which are in high demand in Southern Africa. And she also does not have the means to know about that high demand. I think the lawyers call it double jeopardy. With all that headache, she exports altogether less than a 20-footer container all year, because if she took a loan from the bank, with her risk standing so tall, high interest rates bring everything back where she started, or even worse. The bureaucracies at ports, transportation means and costs, police checkpoints, duplicated regulations, warehousing challenges, and so many other all add to her frustration, and she probably gives up. The African Continental Free Trade Area, the largest since the formation of the WTO, if properly implemented, will resolve for exporters issues of trade finance and productive capacity, trade facilitation and trade-related infrastructure, free movement of goods and persons, and very importantly, trade information. It will make Africa one giant market for traders and exporters, provide an inevitable basis for value addition through the rules of origin, and hence a boost in intra-African trade through the better harmonization and coordination. It will engender economic diversification and industrialization through regional value chains, provide jobs for Africa's youth, and improve the standard of living of our people. It is arguably the biggest stimulus yet for an industrialized Africa.
When you look at the AU Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, when it looks and talks about the digital transformation of this continent, there are four key things that the espouses that they talk about. One, that digitization will improve the quality of our people, to strengthen the economy in this continent, to enable diversification and the development of our economies. Fourthly, to ensure that this continent is no longer just a consumer, but a big player in the production of goods and services globally. Therefore, the creation of the AfCFTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I know some people call us CFTA, some people call us a couple of acronyms. But just remember that we are the hub and the engine of what will be the biggest single market globally. We're created to make sure that small, big, and medium enterprises find themselves delivering on the mandate of connecting us as a people and enhancing and growing the businesses that we as a people have created.
There is also a program by the National Coordination Office to take the roadshow, the launch of the policy to the hinterlands, to go to the 15 other regions. Because most of the time we tend to think that AfCFTA is Accra, but AfCFTA is Ghana, AfCFTA is Africa, and therefore in that exercise we are collaborating very closely with our colleagues from GEPA. We are collaborating very closely with our colleagues from EXIM. We are collaborating with several other agencies, and on this platform here, I would want to assure the minister, the honourable minister, that we would want to also ask her permission to include the information, the awareness creation of the hub on our regional tours as it starts.
Ghana, like most African countries, was built on trade. And long before we decided to take the name of the illustrious ancient Soninke Kingdom, whose capital of Kumbisale was at the heart of the salt and gold trade of the Western Sahara, our forebears staked the flag of trade in every outpost of this land. Techiman, for example, was as far back as the 14th century a hub for the cola trade and a crossroads for commerce across the Hausa diaspora. Between the 16th and 18th century, Salaga achieved renown across the length and breadth of the Sahara as a major port of business and exchange place for Africa's wealth and ingenuity. The European adventurers who came here in the 15th and 16th centuries were drawn by trade and saw it as a hallmark of our existence. I've just come back from a short trip to Axim, and there I saw the exploits of our illustrious industrialists and merchants as far back as 100 years ago, some of which have resulted in edifices which still survive to this day, built on the back of trade. They were able to build mansions amidst mud houses. They were able to import European artisans to come and work on those mansions. And just imagine the impact that would have had on the local populace to see white men actually working as employees of their local merchants. And I'm speaking about Pa Grant and Papa Kwam of Axim in those days. We have long loved trade. The question is, has trade loved us back? Trade is what forged us, but has it helped us? Has it done enough for Ghana? Will trade, as we have done it all this while, take this country to the other level, the promised land of transformation and membership of the club of successful countries? The current fiscal issues facing Ghana, linked indelibly to the still lingering pandemic and protracted Russian-Ukraine conflict, have a huge impact on our trading activities. Much of the inflation now plaguing the country found its way here through trade. I believe that it can be a real game changer, not just for Ghana, but for the continent as well, and help transform our economy and give a real boost of life to our small and medium enterprises particularly.